What's going on, MSFers? Duelum here, back again with another video, and today we've got Cosmic Crucible Week 3 recap and Week 4 defense. So for the recap, for round number 1, we went against Chaos the Sea. And in room number 1, I used Cabal, Lizard, and Omega Red, and it took out a Black Knight. Noir, Hive Mind comp, so he was using the same thing I was using on defense. What a copycat. So, room number 2, we used APOC, Undying, Doom, Dorm against a Superior 6. It went decently well, and 83-55 against a Superior 6 is always a pretty good fight, but I had to use APOC here. Room number 3, we did a pre-taunt, Mercs for money, and it was able to take out an Annihilators with Sus. He did not have Ultimus here, which means the pre-taunt version does work really well, because there's no Ultimus there to delete your pre-taunter and give everybody speed turn 1, so that's really nice. Room number 4, we used Superior 6 and limped past an Orcus with Sasquatch. You can see this Orcus is absolutely massive. 3-diamond Nimrod. Literally only a 5 red on Sentinel, but the others are all 3 diamonds. So this was rough. I barely survived this. I also brought in Kestrel to stop the summons to make Nimrod go a little bit slower. So that did work pretty well, but not the best efficiency. Room number 5, we tried to MOE with Tangled. This Extreme with Rogue did not work well. Came in with New Warriors for the cleanup because I knew Nightcrawler did not have any abilities up. Room number 6, we did the double sack with SD Eternals. Worked super well. On defense, my opponent did the same thing to me. He did actually Ultimus with Cabal and Omega Red, ironically enough. Room number 2, he did the mirror matchup with Illuminati. Room number 3, he used he used pretty much Mercs with Ares to take off the safeguard, so he was able to save APOC and not use him in room 3 against my defense. You'll see where he used it in room number 4, or room number 5. Room number 4, he used New Warriors against my defense that I thought would not be able to be beat by New Warriors. It was the 3-piece Spider Society with Quicksilver and Mysterio. I was kind of shocked this got beat, but it is what it is. We pivoted. Room number 5, he was able to one-shot it because he was able to use APOC in 5 instead of 3. So MOE APOC against Extreme did well. And then room number 6 did the double sack and SD Eternals. So round number 1 was a loss. Round number 2 going against Captain Canuck 2. Shout out to this guy as well. He gave me a sub on Twitch before we faced off. So what a great guy. So in room number 1, he tried a sack and then Alpha Flight Kestrel. Or actually, this is me, sorry. I did a sack, and then I did Alpha Flight Kestrel into his kind of out of time with Kestrel and Quicksilver. This was the last room I was trying to clear, so I was down to the dregs here. And then I did a Vol, just a plethora of people, just random people. Again, I was down to the dregs at the end here, so I was just happy to clear this room. Room number 2, we used Superior 6 with Old Man Logan going against their Illuminati for that one shot because I have my Illuminati on defense. Room number 3, we tried a sack and then we tried to do the Cabal, Kang, and Titania route here. It did not work well, as you could see, so I did a combat cancel and then I did Cabal with APOC and Docked. This was pretty rough, honestly. That 1 million Gladiator was not dying at all, and that was just problems all around. Room number 4, we were able to use New Warriors here. He did not have a pre-taunt. Noir did absolutely nothing here to New Warriors, so New Warriors did really, really well here on a 1.2 million punch-up. Orcus really needs like someone like Super Scroll, a pre-taunt, something like this to stop New Warriors from beating it. Room number 5 did not clear room number 5. We tried MOE with Doom. It did not work. I tried Tangle, Cable, Dorm, Nova. Did not work, and then I came in with Undying, Morgan Le Fay, and Red Hulk, and that was pretty much my last-ditch effort. Was not able to clear this. If I was, I actually would have won as well. And then in room number 6, the same old double sack SD Eternals. On defense, my opponent tried a sack and then New Warriors into Hive, BK, Noir. Did not work. Then he tried the exact same thing, just brought in Echo over Dagger instead to stop all those assists. It did end up working. Room number 2, Superior 6 Old Man Logan against my Illuminati. Room number 3, I took Sus out of here and I put Sus in 4, and you'll see why. So I used Tangled Dorm, Rolk, APOC, did really well here. And then he ended up using Cabal, Emma here. And the fact that he had to use Cabal here means he couldn't use Cabal here, which gave him a lot of struggles here. So I actually liked that. Room number 5, tried MOE Dawkin, did not work well. And then did Hive with Vol to clean it up. And then room number 6, double sack SD Eternals. So 0-2 to start the week. I was sweating. And then I saw my opponent was Mark B, and I saw that he had Odin on offense and Mephisto on offense. So I had to one-shot absolutely everything here. So kicking off room number 1, we did new warriors, full new warriors, all strikers going into a Hive dorm. He did have red Guardian and Void Knight next to each other. So I was able to rewind both of them, which was really helpful. And this went really well. 83-68. The assists were great, and they just died. Room number 2, we used Cabal with Zemo and Red Skull. It went fine-ish. There's a 3-diamond Black Knight here, so he's always going to take a lot of efficiency. But it was still a one-shot, so I'll take it. Room number 3, we used M for M APOC against his Sus Annihilators. I was able to use APOC here because I didn't need to use him anywhere else because, like I said, he had everything for offense. So this worked pretty well. It was a lot to use, though. APOC and Old Man Logan in the same room is kind of rough. Room number 4, we have Superior 6 with Vulture going into a Extreme with Rogue and LDS. He took out the Cyclops and the Sunspot. It went pretty well, honestly. Even though this is an absolutely massive team, 4.2 million. That's kind of ridiculous. So it worked well. I'll take it. Room number 5, we used SD with Eternals against a full Spider Society, 83-62. Pretty easy. And then room number 6, we ended up using a Tangled Kang Kestrel Dorm here. And this result does not do this fight justice. This was sketchy. And I mean really sketchy, because I ended the fight with Dormammu ult, so I healed everybody, so it looked way better when you look at this. But, like, I didn't get to stun Nimrod because he still had the immunity. He one-shot my Weaver and Kestrel, but Dormammu revives brought them back. This fight was sketch from start to finish, but it somehow worked, so I'll take it. And then on defense, my opponent ran Cabal into my room number 1, which you'll see ended up putting him in a little bit of a bind. Room number 2, he mirrored Illuminati on Illuminati. Room number 3, APOC, Rolk, Tangled, Kestrel, again against my Annihilators without Sus. And I feel like if Annihilators are taking an APOC, Rolk, Tangled, and Kestrel off the board, I think that's a win, honestly. I think that's beneficial for my defense. Room number 4, yes, he actually did this. Mephisto, Odin, and Mercs, everything maxed out. It was just a sus with Scientist Supreme, Sasquatch, LDS, Quicksilver, and he went balls to the wall on it. I'm not really sure why. I thought he was going to try to use Odin on offense to try to one-shot my Mephisto, since he didn't have Mephisto on defense, so that was interesting. Room number 5 used Superior 6 masterfully against this, and then, that was room number 5. And then room number 6, he tried the double sack and then SD Eternals and actually failed. And the reason why he failed is turn 1, Black Cat. He used the Black Cat special on Ghost Spider. I don't know why, but he did. And he also didn't bring in Hard Light. He brought in Photon instead. So even the fact that he double sacked, I automatically won because I one-shot everything. So we went 1-2 this week, so not terrible. We are just barely still in Masters 2, hanging on just barely near the relegation zone. But the fact that we're in Masters 2 is kind of great until next week when Odin just absolutely deletes my face. But now let's get into our defense. So room number 1, we do have Hive, Noir, and BK still in 1. I think this is going to be a staple in room 1 because Noir just goes so fast. And then Hive gets that speed if anybody drops below 30% health. If anybody takes a turn, BK is going to retaliate as well. And at 2 diamond, G19, BK is hitting really, really hard. So he could potentially knock someone below 30% health, even with 1 ping, which would get Hive Mind to start rolling, and then it's over from there. Room number 2, Illuminati is going to stay in here. There's really no other better place to put them. Another alternative you could put in room 2 is going to be Illuminati with Black Knight. I know a lot of people have been trying that out, and it requires a sack. You literally can't one-shot it because it's not one-shottable. You have to sack it, and then you mirror it. So that soaks up another attack for you. But then I feel like room 1 just kind of suffers way too much without Black Knight in there. So that's really nice. This works pretty well. So room number 2, going to be Illuminati, or you could do Illuminati Black Knight. Room number 3, I've got full Annihilators in here, And I've realized if you are not someone with massive annihilators, and I mean like 7/7 diamonds annihilators, it's not worth it to try the sus annihilators room because there's one-shot counters to it. And they pretty much always work. So especially in the league that I'm in, with the people that I'm going against, because normally what people use is a punch across on me, and they're using a bunch of characters that don't have the new stats. And the fact that they're punching across is kind of disgusting. So I've noticed no matter what, nobody is getting tripped up on my room 3 when sus is here. So I'm putting full annihilators in here because this is still going to bait an Apocalypse Tangled, an Ares Tangled if he ends up using Ares in here like my round 1 or round 2 opponent did. He used the Ares passive. So this is still going to take a really big team to take out. And I think it's going to be worth it to have this in here and be able to use Super Scroll somewhere else. So that somewhere else is going to be in room number 4. So I'm going to be using a 4-piece Orcus, no Omega Sentinel, even though she did come out last night because of a mistake, and Super Scroll. Even if you have Omega Sentinel, Super Scroll is still better. I have this team in here. This team is going to do really well. Scientist Supreme is going to go first because even though Cabal stops turn meter, they don't stop on spawn turn meter. So Scientist Supreme is still going to go before all of the Cabal members, give all those negative effects to Cabal, those slows, that defense down, offense down, all that good stuff. And it's not going to affect the Orcus members. And then any negative effects that do go on Super Scroll, guess what? It just gives him turn meter. So it really doesn't hinder Super Scroll at all, which is really nice. I did core unlock Nimrod as well, and I would recommend people core unlocking Nimrod because we do have Kiln Tower. And I think Nimrod, Sentinel, and Scientist Supreme are going to be an absolute must to get through Kiln Tower. So I do think it is a good idea to core Nimrod because he is the core of the team. Also, once you have the 4-piece, tech raids are very simple. As for Omega Sentinel, just hold off on her. Wait till she's farmable. Who cares? But yeah, this room has been pulling Cabals, and then if they use Cabal here, they can't use Cabal here, and you saw how my opponents were struggling when they couldn't use Cabal in 1. So I think it forces them to make a very poor decision. So this is a really good room. I really like it. Also, if you have Scientist Supreme as a purple healer 3, she will clear the vulnerables on that Cabal puts out on spawn from Iron Patriot passive. And believe it or not, that's pretty good. So that causes a lot of problems very quickly. Room number 5, we're going to use Extreme with Rogue here still. This room takes something like MOE APOC to one-shot it. If not, it's been really rough to get a good attack on it. You've seen me have to 2-tap it all 3 times this week, I believe. Or at least twice this week. So unless you're using like a Superior 6 in here, it's been rough to one-shot. So this has been going well for me. And then in room 6, I still got Mephisto Spider Society. If you don't have Captain Britain, you could try a Black Knight Illuminati over Captain Britain in here, and it could do some pretty good things for you. If you want Illuminati on offense, you're definitely going to want to use Old Man Logan and Superior 6 on defense, which can take the places of 6 and 2. So you can put like an Old Man Logan comp in 6, and then you can put a Superior 6 comp in 2, so you can keep your free-to-play Illuminati to take out things and make it a little bit easier for you on your offense. But that's going to be it for this one. That's going to be my defense for week number 4. Fingers crossed I can stay in Masters and Odin doesn't just push me down to the dregs. But we are going to see. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.